In today's video, we're going to be doing a wave cut, mid-taper, no C-cups with a 2 on top. So right now I'm going to comb down the hair and take my 2 guard, going through. The reason why I comb the hair down first is just to make sure that I have all the hairs laid in a direction that his hair flows. I wanted to zoom in on the crown specifically to show that I'm going in a direction that the hair grows. I'll open the clipper a little bit just because I want to make sure that I cut it a little higher, just so if there is a little light spot or there's a different angle that he is brushing, I'm able to see that. And now I'm taking my trimmer, setting in my first ball guideline. And now I'm coming back with my shaver just to clean up that little bit of stubble. And now I'm taking my clipper all the way open and setting that second guideline. My steps here is always bald line, shaver, lever open, close the clipper, take out that bottom line. And from there, I truly can't even tell you what I do. Sometimes I'll go 1 all the way open to the 2 and blend down. Sometimes I'll blend up. It just depends on what the hair is giving me. If you've been watching my videos before, you know that I like to simplify cutting hair. I don't like to make it too difficult. So I try to do what's gonna make my job easier. So here in this example, what's making my job easier is going straight to the 1 guard all the way open. And now I'm going with the 2 guard. There's a big wave, as you can see, that I'm trying not to I don't want to take too much off. So I'm flicking out, I'm being dramatic with the flick out motion at the top. I don't want to cut into it, but I also want to soften it so it doesn't just seem like a extra line. And I'm just going to continue to mess around with the lever just to kind of see what the hair is giving me as I approach that wave. And now I'm going with the 0 guard all the way open. I'm just going to slowly close the lever. And his hair blends really well, so it's not really much that I have to do. I could have just went straight to the half guard, halfway closed. But for the purposes of the video, I wanted to make sure that I do each step. And just to back off of my last video, if you haven't watched that, please go watch it. It's not really much of a tutorial, it's more so what I'm thinking while I'm cutting. And his hair grows from his hairline towards his ear. So I'm angling the clipper a lot, and I'm also trying to be very light and gentle with attacking the line. Because it grows in a different way, it's easy to take that line a little bit higher than it should go. And I'm using the corner the majority of the time. And on this other side, I'm just doing the same thing, same exact steps. So as you see here, I'm taking that one guard. That one guard line is a whole lot more space than it is the lever. And I'm going back on my 0. And like I said, there's so much space here, so I can free roam. I can play around with the lever, whatever way I feel is gonna give me the best result. But if I needed to come back with that 0 guard and use the corner and attack those lines, it's not gonna be a problem. And I'm going on my 2, just trying to blend into the waves. He doesn't want it super high. He just doesn't want the C cups. So I'm just doing what I can to blend into the waves because I use the 2 on top. If I just use the 2 open and flare out at the top, it's gonna be smooth sailing. If I needed to, I could use a 3. Then I'm going with the 1.5, just attacking that in between the 1 and the 2. And the majority of detail work should come from the corner of your clipper. Using it flat wouldn't be a problem here because there's no curve to, it's not a big space for 1, but for 2, there's not really much curve to what it is that I'm using. When you're doing like a drop fade or a burst fade, you wanna make sure that it's only corner work when you're detailing. But it's not that big of a deal when you got these small spaces and the guidelines are a lot smaller, pretty much the same, kind of like a straight high fade. Like, you could use the flat clipper for that. But I'm going with 2, trying to clean up some space before I set in my guideline. I just want to make sure that I can see what it is that I'm getting into. And setting in my first guideline in the back. Back taper, setting in your first line in the back is always weird for me because, like, I know y'all be seeing, well, I use the mirror a lot. I use the mirror for every single part of my haircut, whether it's doing a lineup, blend, setting a guideline. So when I set in my first guideline, I go look back at the mirror and it'll be so slanted. I know I'm not the only one that gets this. And reason being is just because it's the shape of the neck. It's the shape of it. Like, you have to kind of like line around the same way you would in the front lineup to make it even. I didn't do that here. That's why I said that, because I recording the video, I don't think I really try to make it as straight as possible. You guys wouldn't know because you're looking from the side, but point of this exaggerated story is use the mirror as much as you can, because your eyes will lie to you. Sometimes the camera will lie to you, but that mirror won't. So after I go in, setting in my first guideline, I go with the 1 all the way open, and then I go straight to the 0. Same thing that I did on the sides. Then to the 2, after the 2, 1.5, I do the same exact steps. But I'm always just looking for something. I'm looking for a way that I can enhance the haircut, make it look better. If there's lines in there, how I could get those lines out, make it as simple as possible. But something I do want to point out is not over detailing in the beginning of the haircut. For me, I cut hair in 45 minutes, haircut and beard, and I'll be messing up my time if I try to do my detailing throughout the entire cut. Now, of course, there's some spots where it's just like, all right, I got to get that because I'm right here. But there's a lot of times where it's like, let me just come back to this towards the end of the haircut. And when you take your eyes off of that spot and you go look at something else, you'll see something that you didn't see before. I hope that makes sense. So now we're gonna go over to the beard line. I already said in that first line when I did the ball line for the taper. So now I'm just going lever open and just fluctuating the lever until I get that top line all the way out. And then it's kind of blending seamlessly to where I'm gonna come back with the one guard. And now I'm coming with the one all the way open. And I'm using the corner of my clipper. I could use it flat, but I want to use more of the corner just because it's such a tight space. And detailing is easier when using the corner for me. And that's kind of how I look at a beard. I look at it as more like a detail type of blend. And I'm coming with the zero guard. And I'm just trying to blend in what it was that I took out. Or what I set in, sorry. And I'm coming with the 1.5 across his hairline. And I'm gonna spray some hold and spray down. Just because his hair is so thick. I want to make sure that I can get it as still as possible before I line it up. When doing a lineup, I like to rest my finger on the eyebrow. It always forces clients to keep their eyes closed. You don't want nobody looking at you. But it's also like a safety net. Something that I try to do, I'm not sure if I did it here, is not have that index finger on the clipper. Because if they raise their eyebrow, you're cooked. You're pushing the hair all the way back. Though this does look like a pushback, he just hasn't got a cut in a long time. And his hair is hanging over his hairline. And the left side, his left side of his hairline, it grows lower than the rest. So you'll see when I come to that side that part, there's hair that actually grows there. And yes, there is a such thing as detail in the hairline. Once you're done, go look in the mirror, check and see if it's straight, see if there's one side that needs to go a little bit higher. You could even ask your client, like, hey, do you want me to raise this side a little bit? You know, whatever it is you got to do as far as detailing goes. So now I'm coming with the 2 guard. I'm going just trying to soften up that line before I line it up because it's been a long time since you got a haircut. You don't want to go line up just bulk, you know, so. And then I'm just doing the same thing to the other side, following the same exact steps. So right there, I'm stretching the skin and I'm just immediately going for that extra hair right there at that spot. And then like when doing a razor, it's so easy to just skim over the whole entire hairline and it's easy to miss spots. So I like to find the spots that's maybe a widow's peak or maybe a little bit of extra hair that grows and just take that out right away. And now for the beard line, I'm just stretching the skin and I'm following a straight line all the way down to about the corner of his lip. He doesn't really like the beard as high as possible. So I know the corner of his lip is where he prefers his beard to be. I like the beard as high as possible, but not everybody likes that. So you gotta do what the client wants you to do. I always come through and wipe off that the razor line and then reline it. Just makes it look a lot more clean, a lot more smooth. And then for straightening out the beard, I'm just gonna pick it out all the way. Obviously, he takes care of his beard, but getting off those like straggle hairs is so important. And I promise you, when I cut somebody's beard, this is always what takes it to the next level. When they see how detail oriented I am with taking off that extra hair, there's just loose hairs that's there, and it just makes the beard look so much more clean when you take it off. So I'm just gonna do this all around, and then once I get it to that length that I feel is all that extra, loose hairs, I'm gonna go to the bottom of the beard and just straighten out that bottom line. And I posted this same video on TikTok a few months ago, and I probably got about 4 clients off of TikTok just from them seeing how sharp I did this lineup. Just this line on the bottom of his beard. It's so important to be precise because people are looking everywhere, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you're posting, people are seeing that. So just make sure that you're utilizing what it is that you're best at, right? If I'm not that good at tapers, but I'm fire at beards, I'm gonna go off on a beard. If I'm not that good at beards, but I'm fire at tapers, I'm gonna go off on the taper. Do what it is that you're best at, and make sure that you're showing that and you highlight that the most when you're posting. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the whole cut. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.